with 18 years of experience supporting digital transformation. He is currently a security architect at NS Focus, a global cybersecurity firm and a strong advocate for empowering MSMEs through tech. Let's give a round of applause to Mr. Christopher De Leon. And to guide this important conversation, I'd like to call back on stage our moderator, Ms. Armelin Abengar.
We're going to talk about very important nowadays, data privacy, especially in the digital space as well. So maybe we can start with our first question with Mr. Apples. What common mistakes does our MSMEs make when it comes to handling customer data?
The most common mistake, and it may sound funny, but among the people that I've interacted with in the MSME sector, is that most of this, the way they handle customer data is they let everyone have access to it. I mean, it is not natural for MSMEs to do that because they would like to foster collaboration within their company. Second, they have very limited resources. So everyone is doing all-in-one jobs, right? So they really do collaboration and they work with each other. Hence, as nangyayari, the customer data, together with all of their marketing, financial data, it's all there in one file, maybe in one data source or data storage, and everyone can actually see it within the company. Some may have bad intentions, pero most of the time, company employees, they don't have bad intentions, it's just that they would actually have an accidental mishandling. So those are really the common mistakes, with bad intention or not. Those are the common mistakes that most SMEs are having.
Thank you so much. This is very insightful, to be honest, because those three common mistakes very applicable nowadays, that people are having access, and then now like some emails, phishing attacks, and things like that. So going to the next part, which is like, what are some cost-effective steps MSMEs can take to strengthen data privacy, the ones that won't break their balance?
So this first step that I could give is, it will not definitely break your wallet, but it will take a little bit more of sweating around your worksheets. It's really identifying, looking through their data, identifying and classifying data. So all of those personal information or customer data, at least you have to separate it. Know, okay, it's very important. Second, know where are you storing it. So I'll give one classic example in terms of knowing where your data is or how it can go wrong. Again, no bad intentions. Purely company operations, and it happens not only to SMEs, also to big corporations. So, for example, let's say you put your data. You know that your data, especially the customer data, is in one database. With good intentions, you even have some security. Yung passwords, limited lang yung nakakalat ng password, that is in one database. Pero, yung file na yun, ina-update yung employees. So, they have, sabi natin, limited share, limited access. So, they update, pero ano yung normal na ginagawa? Yes, if may pina-update ako sa'yo, or kayo, pag may pina-update, paano ginagawa yung update? Usually, ginagawa nyo, o-copy yung file sa laptop nyo, tapos, i-edit nyo. Tama? That's what you guys do? You copy, tapos update kasi para makatipid sa bandwidth. Right? So, after that, saka nyo i-upload. But the thing is, yung laptop na ginagamit ng employees natin are also sometimes, most of the time, may naka-install doon na personal Google Drive or personal Microsoft Drive. So, magsisync yun. Pag nagsync yun, copy na yun sa personal. And without you knowing it. Even the employee, wala naman siyang bad intent. Because I'm just doing my job. Nagkataon lang to be multitasking para ma-check ko rin yung personal emails ko. So, accidentally, you don't know na lumalabas na yung data. Okay. Second, that's, I think, fourth thing. In the age of AI, right now, we all use, marami na kayo, marami kayo ng ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini. It's okay. No problem. Pero again, be careful on how you use it. Because, for example, yung pinaparehash nyo na, let's say, an essay, or let's say a write-up for marketing purposes. If it contains, for example, if you're an SME where you're doing mostly may secret recipe for your restaurant, and accidentally na-mention yung doing recipe, it will actually be published. So again, these tools will help us. There are things that we're doing operationally, but again, let's be very cautious on how we do it. We try to identify what are those personal data, where those customer data, even yung mga trade secret data natin, we also take it as like customer data, and then identify saan natin siya nilalagay. And then the last would be make sure you know kung sino lang yung may access sa data. And be very specific kung ano yung bibigay yung access. It doesn't take, mga matataas na technology or cybersecurity solutions to do that. But having at least those 3 steps of a process will actually help in a sense.
Agree. This is very insightful, sir, because a lot of the companies now, since with AI was coming in, people are using it in everyday basis. So there are many data points are being shared, but no one is aware that it's being trained onto these LLMs. So thank you so much, sir. And now, Mr. Christopher Lalin, talking about DDoS attacks or distributed denial of service. Can you explain what this attack is and why SMEs in Southeast Asia should be concerned about it today?
I want to start on the business case of moving to digital or expanding your business to digital. Actually, it's imperative today that MS and E's are to adopt digital transformation because, as you can see, based on some studies, 56% of SMEs are experience a significant increase in their revenues. And in fact, our digital economy is about to grow, is projected to grow about 7.7% increase year on year. And that's equivalent to $24 billion. So that's really a big opportunity for SMEs. But also, it's an opportunity for hackers too. So, these attacks are actually a type of cyber attacks that could hamper your business. So, there are really a lot of threats that are actually targeting SMEs. Those threats could impact their data privacy compliance and, of course, harm their business operations. So, based on research, our research, 60% of DDoS attacks globally are actually targeting SMEs. So yeah. So the problem is that so hackers are doing it, so they could gain money by doing or sending ransom DDoS attacks, or just sending DDoS attacks to so that your customers will not be able to access your online channels or just make your business unreachable. So yeah, that's what DDoS attacks in layman's terms do. But it's like in a picture, it's like you have a lot of thousands or millions of fake customers that are blocking your store entrance.
It's a very good explanation, sir. It's very educational. And now to follow up, if an MSME is hit by these attacks and their website or internet goes down, what could that mean for their operations? I believe, what practical advice would you give to the MSMEs to protect themselves from this?
So based on a study also, MSMEs that were attacked by DDoS, they experienced 6 hours of business downtime. That's at the average. And so what happened? E-commerce platforms or online channels are down. Customers cannot access your social media platforms or messaging apps. Customers cannot pay using their credit card or e-wallets. So yeah, that's what's really happening. Of course, there's this notion that I need cybersecurity. It's also an imperative to protect your business. But the problem is that it might not be that practical for MSMEs because it requires significant investments, talents or skills to operate them, and plus the yearly maintenance. So yeah, it would be best for SMSEs to look for a partner, a technology provider that really understand your business and be able to provide protection and expertise you need without putting cybersecurity systems in your digital transformation. So that's why NS Focus and Converge ICT partnered together to make cybersecurity simpler and smarter for SMSEs. All you have to do actually is to contact your sales agent or any salesperson from Converge ICT, and they will include your cybersecurity needs on top of your internet service.
This is amazing. I mean, we have lots of like MSMEs here, and of course having that part of the Converge ICT. So if you want, well, you can also start now as well. So having our both speakers share more about business access and all. For both of you, what's one practical action item, very important action item, that you would give to the MSME just starting to address data privacy or cybersecurity risks in their operations? Anyone can start.
So, well, the problem is that we look privacy compliance as a pain to our business. What we should do, we should look for avenues to turn privacy as a competitive advantage. So, when you have a competitive advantage in your business, really protecting data privacy or sensitive personal information, customers will love you. Customers will trust you. Your brand integrity will go high. So yeah. So and of course, it's very important that Sir Apple said earlier that we need to classify what types of data that we process, how we control access to those data, and also we should not look to cybersecurity as an investment, but also as an ally to protect your business.
Doing cybersecurity, again, for MSME, you can start with manual processes because in any technology solutions, even before, there are always three aspects: people, processes, and tools. So the technology, the tools or the technology portion, that is usually where your wallet gets hit, right? But still, if you, the weakest link within the system is actually the people. So having a proper process in place that will discipline or instill cybersecurity culture or security culture within the company, it's all where it starts. Because what happens is if you implement actually cybersecurity solutions, it will follow whatever policies and procedures and processes that you actually created for the company. So, hindi mo pwedeng ito yung technology tas yun yung i-apply. Ito yung i-apply mo sa company. Chances are, 99% it will not fit. Or sooner or later, the owners of SMEs will realize that it's not helping you. Why do I still get attacked? So, again, it's really doing first your homework, making sure you have the proper mindset culture of security, and that those policies and processes, and then saka ka pumili na tools or solutions that you will actually use.
Alright, thank you so much. I believe one of my key takeaways here is like have that sense of cybersecurity be part of the company's culture. Like protecting themselves against from this. Because I believe many abuse now, it usually starts from one click of an employee. It becomes a domino effect.
Precisely. We actually have a very famous saying in cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is a boardroom to basement responsibility. So it's everybody's responsibility within the company. Again, I'm speaking not only for the SMEs, it also happens for big enterprises.
Alright, thank you so much, Mr. Apple Asud and Mr. Christopher De Leon, for sharing your valuable insights. And of course, we hope our entrepreneur students, professionals here should be aware of these attacks and how to secure yourself in a digital space as well. So yeah, that's what we conclude now with our panel discussion. Thank you everyone for your active participation.
Thank you very much, Ms. Arvin, for moderating our panel discussion. Again, give it up for Mr. Christopher De Leon and Mr. Apple Salud. Now we will be calling on